downtown, brought to you by Arlington Citizen Media. I am Daryl Smith Jr., and directly across the internet from me is...
I am Brody John. On this week's show, we talk with Anthony Andro and your voice of the Texas Rangers, Emily Jones, with the Do It For Durrett about what to expect as they take over legal draft on October 23rd for the Do It For Durrett Rocks.
We also talk with District 3 City Councillor Nikki Hunter about winning the runoff race, her time so far on the council, and her dog Spence. So
yeah, she comments very nicely about the pictures I post on Instagram, which I find to be very nice of her.
Well, see, and look think about that. When we started this podcast, did you think that you would be like commenting on city council candidates' dog posts?
I love it. That's how we know who she is, and that's how transparent she is. It's fantastic.
100% agreed. It's the same thing with Raul Gonzalez, right? Like, he's on his social media. You can get him there. I've talked to Ruby on hers. We've talked to Dr. Barbara and Wesley on hers. We've talked to the mayor. Everyone is so accessible, and I think that that's really cool. I've never been part of a place where that is something that I could do.
That's true. I mean, every Friday you could see Raul dance. And it's Christmas is around the corner. I wouldn't be surprised if he's at one of those booth or bells again and just dancing away.
I that tracks 100% with what we know about Raul. So big thing coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday
at Dr. Jekyll's. Our 100th show, 7 p.m. Come out, see us do our 100th episode. We're going to record our first live show for the love of Arlington with a round table of friends and guests to discuss Arlington, our 100th episode, and, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. I mean, not only do we get to celebrate our 100th episode, but we get to do our first live show at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then we get to feel like we're rock stars on the stage. I mean, you've been in bands, you know how it is. But...
I do, yes. But you're right. I think it will be cool to feel that way. And we got a great lineup for this roundtable. I am super excited about everyone that we've brought together. I think that we're touching on all kinds of aspects of this city, driving aspects of this city. Like we have Dr. Barbara Oden Wesley, city council member. She will be there.
We have Katie Goza with Downtown Arlington, who knows she couldn't get Garrett Martin. He's celebrating love, but we got the next best thing, and she is tapped in with what's happening with the city, not only with the music and the art, but just other great things that are happening in the city.
And we also have Luke and Lauren Brewer from Union Works joining us on stage. We just did a show with them, but I loved that show. It was a great interview, always fun to talk to them. I'm excited to get on stage with everyone that we're going to be on stage with to talk about, what we love about Arlington and what we see the future of Arlington hopefully being.
What's funny is that not only did we record that podcast with them, afterwards when we were done recording everybody, we still stayed another 30 minutes to an hour to talk about the city of Arlington.
We did. And we also will be partnering, just speaking of what we're doing with Luke and Lauren at Union Works, we will be partnering with them on a cool thing as well on the 30th, correct?
Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, starting at 7:30, I believe till 9, we're going to be doing Sip and Slides.
Sip and Slides. Basically, you get 5 minutes, you go up, you have 20 slides, up to 20 slides, you can talk about anything. If you want to talk about how much you love oak trees, especially a particular oak tree, you can talk about that. You want to talk about Urban Union, you can talk about that. Just go up there and have fun.
Nikki Hunter could come up and talk about Spence.
20 slides on Spence. Yeah. 20 slides on Spence.
Everybody gets 5 minutes, though. Fantastic ideas you have about the city. So, let's say Jokel wanted to come up and talk about how great he wants the city to be walkable. He could do that.
100%. So anything you have, come on out. There's an Instagram. You can check that out, but it'll be a Union Works. It'll be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see, who comes out and what we talk about.
Yep.
But while we're still talking about our show on Saturday, Frio Trio will also be there.
Exactly. And we
closing us down.
So that way you can hang out with us, listen to Frio Trio, which you probably want to do more of that than hang out with us, but we'll be there also. And then you will be drinking, hopefully. You can at least try it. If you don't like it, more for me, which is fantastic. local Patreon giver, local teacher, local just
all
man
around.
Arlington. Yeah.
Yes.
Brian Fratto will be making our own the Downtown IPA. It's going to be amazing.
It is, and I'm excited for it. Speaking of Patreon, if you would like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/Arlington Citizen Media. You can help us out, help us get pay for hosting, get more T-shirts, hopefully. Anything along those lines. If you want to help us out, we love what we're doing. We'd love to be able to do more of it. If you want to support us in that, check us out there. Do want to give a shout out to our patrons so far. Brandon McLaughlin, fantastic musician. Can't wait to see him play again. I love his Instagram, by the way. I love his Instagram because he goes on there and plays quite a bit and all kinds of stuff too, right? Like he was playing Smashing Pumpkins the other day, so I definitely appreciate that. You can check that out at Instagram.com/Brandon McLaughlin Music. He's also at Facebook.com/Brandon McLaughlin Music and on Twitter at Burrito_Brandon.
Yeah, he posts a lot of that fun stuff on Twitter as well, and it is he's an amazing guitarist, and I can't wait to see the trajectory of how big he's going to blow up. And then I believe he's still going to call Arlington home, but you never know. Nashville may be a calling.
And you know what? That's fine. It's okay if that happens. We love Maren Morris, and she doesn't live here anymore. So, if you're from here and you move away to do what you need to do for your career and your art, we support you from afar. We love you still.
But obviously, keep coming home whenever you can.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And then obviously we also want to thank our future beer maker, Brian Fratto, for his Patreon givings, his followings. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it is FRATTEAU, Fratto. And you get some brew or poo Instagram posts, which I'm hoping to see ours on here very soon. And then, amazing pictures I'm looking right now of him needing a haircut. But
I think he looks fabulous with long hair, but that's because I don't have any hair, right? So I'm looking at it from I wish I had that standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Him and I start growing our hair around the same time, and his looks great.
Well, have you done anything cool that you want to talk about before we get to these awesome interviews?
It wasn't this weekend, but it was the weekend before. Actually, it was this past weekend. Pele Pro Wrestling over at 360 Elite Arena. You were there?
I was. First time I've been to a Pele show.
For cheat code.
It was, let me just say this. It was one of the most fun indie shows I've been to, and I've been to several in the city of Arlington, in addition to Dallas and Fort Worth. It was fun. The venue is cool. I think it's a really great venue. Incredible matches. Everyone there had a good time. The crowd was big crowd. Lots of people there. I had to park at Home Depot.
Yeah, that's how many people were there. Which we kept having to get more chairs, which is obviously a good thing.
Yes.
So we loved it. And then, if you've never been to a Pele show, there's always some surprise. So that's why the hashtag Never Miss a Pele Pro Show is a thing. There was like 3 this time.
There were. I was very surprised by several of the people that came out. This is not a pro wrestling podcast, but it's a fun experience even if you're not necessarily a pro wrestling fan. It's a fun thing to go to. My kid had a good time, and she doesn't even watch wrestling, so take the family out. It's a good time for everyone, except old Charlie Haas showed up, and that was not a good family time.
Well, he didn't get the memo that maybe don't flip the crowd off, but he's a bad guy, so
he is a bad guy, so it was actually appropriate.
But we did have the Savage Gentleman, which is a Butterfinger champion. Butterfinger sent him a championship because he loves Butterfinger so much. And he is he had brought out the peanut butter platoon. Guys dressed up as giant peanuts. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was very, very fun. The next show is not until January. They take a little time off, but you should definitely check it out in January. And we will have Kyle back on, and we will talk about it. and you'll probably have to listen to Rhodey and I talk about pro wrestling for an hour with him.
I mean, that's better for you, and you get to hype up the show. So, it's a win-win for everybody. We are here with Anthony Andro and Emily Jones virtually of Do It For Durrett. How is everyone today?
Emily, we're good.
Oh,
we're
good.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to let you go first.
We're getting ready for October 23rd, so we're excited.
So speaking of October 23rd, the Do It For Durrett Rocks is happening at Legal Draft, which is right across the street from us. We're at Union Works today recording. What can people expect? Tell us what's going to go down.
Well, we weren't able to have an event last year because of the pandemic. And so we're super excited to be back with kind of what we call our people, our community. Right. And so this year will be a little different. We've usually done all of our events at the ballpark. But since we moved to the new park, we just felt like this would be a good opportunity for us to kind of, expand a little bit, have a few more people be able to join us and kind of make it, instead of surrounding a baseball game, make it more of kind of a party. Yeah. And so Petty Theft, which is, of course, if anyone's familiar with former radio personality Mike Reiner, his band Petty Theft will be playing. We have a live and silent auction, and more than anything, it's a good time, and you feel good about it knowing that you're helping a really, really good cause.
That's true. So you already mentioned it. You've got Mike Reiner coming out, but you also have almost a new star of the Texas Rangers, Michael Gruber, out there. Grooves, as everyone knows him. They'll be providing entertainment that night. Could we see maybe a live mom game podcast?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
yeah. I didn't want to put you on the spot there, but why not?
There will be wine for sure. So at any point, the mom game could break out. I hope Julie can be there, and I just think it's a lot of fun. I think we've all missed kind of being together. The great thing about Legal Draft is it's kind of that indoor-outdoor space where we don't feel like we're all crammed on top of each other, and it's a great spot for us. We're so grateful for Greg McCarthy and his just ridiculous support of the Durrett Foundation. And it's just going to be fun. Like, it's just going to be a fun night. And this time it's on a Saturday. So, everybody can really cut loose. You don't have to worry about work the next morning. We can stay up a little later. And so we're just really excited about it.
And there's really not, like Emily said, y'all asked about the mom game. There's really no structure.
Just like the mom game.
Right. We have Emily put together run a show, but it can go off the rails a little bit, which is good because the first year we had when we did it at Billy Bob's, there were guys up there doing shots for people in the audience. They were like paying $1,000 to come up and do shots with like Casey Donahue or whatever. And then 2 years ago when we were at the ballpark, Josh Abbott was there, and we're like, "Hey Josh, can we go ahead and auction off people coming over with you?" And he goes, "Well, that won't get any money." And sure enough, we ended up getting like $2,000 just that night, along with Josh just coming up there and stuff. So there is nothing that we won't try to raise a little something for our families impacted by sudden loss.
So, you've announced that Colby Lewis and Derek Holland are going to be there. Could we maybe expect more from the 2011 Rangers?
Yeah, so I know Mike Adams, he said he might be a little late, but he's coming. David Murphy's waiting to see it, make sure that he doesn't have a conflict on his calendar as we near a little bit closer. Same way with Michael Young. I'm waiting a little bit to reach out to Ian Kinsler after Labor Day, just because these guys forget everything. So, yeah, we plan to have John Daniels, of course, will be there. Who struck that team. He's on our board. And so I think we'll have not to mention hopefully some current Rangers who stick around here in the off season. I know Jose Trevino is so supportive. If he's in town, I know he'll stop by. So it's kind of a, you know, just whoever's here, you know, they'll do their best to get there. But we will have Mike Maddox, who was the coach on those teams.
Maddox will be there as long as the Cardinals are not in the playoffs, which is looking more and more like that'll be the case. He's already said he'll be here, so that we're good to go with that.
Now, I think I saw him driving a Grapevine one time. He's got a Jeep or something like that.
Yeah, he has a big old Jeep. Yeah, so in the off season, we hang out with Mike, me, and Jeff Wilson. We call ourselves the Basketball Brotherhood.
Okay.
So because we go to a lot of college basketball games, and so we'll meet for beverages, and then Mike will drive us to the games, and we roll in that big old Jeep of his. Yeah.
I have not been invited to the Basketball Brotherhood.
No. We've gone to we're in Kansas. We went to we went to Allen Fieldhouse, and so we took his dad. Mike's dad met us up there. So we had a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. It's just, I mean, it speaks, I think, to not just the 2011 guys, but we're surrounded by a lot of good people who are willing to help us. And it's not, that's 10 years ago, Emily, and that's crazy to even think about it. But we've had those people have been on board with us whatever we've done since day one, and we're really, really, really fortunate to have, and like we're branching out from the Rangers a little more, but such a good core group of former Rangers who knew Richard and have always wanted to help us. And Maddox sends us stuff, Mitch Moreland, Wash is sending us stuff from the Braves and all that kind of stuff. And those people, it's not, they're doing it not because we ask them to, because they want to, and we're really, really blessed with what we have.
Right. Now, for those that don't know, could you please give us a quick recap as to all the good things that the Do It for Durrett Foundation does?
Emily?
Well, so to date, I think we're over 1.2. Anthony, is that right?
It's about over $1.3 million raised now.
Yeah. Wow, and we've helped upwards of 150 families over the last 7 years. And I think the thing we pride ourselves in the most is the fact that there's no red tape, there's no application process, because when you experience sudden loss, the last thing you have time for is to fill out an application to get a grant or to get some financial assistance. So that's the whole mission of this board, is to help people impacted by sudden loss to do it, and to do it as quickly as possible. And so, basically we have a board text string, and when something gets brought to our attention, we do some due diligence on it, do some checking, and then figure out a dollar amount to award those families. And we have not had to turn anyone away in our 7 years of existence, which is something we're so proud of, is because no one has we haven't ever had to tell anyone no. And that's because we get so much support from our community, from the people who, invest their time and their money into our foundation, that we don't have to say no. And so it's a huge point of pride for all of us involved with the organization, that we know that we can say yes. I mean, and we would, we'd love to help everyone, with $1 million each, but that's not a thing. But we are able to provide some sort of financial assistance in a very, very timely manner for those people who are brought to our attention.
Right. Yeah, and we branched out a little bit. We've been able, last few years, we've added Christmas. So around Christmas, families that have had problems around Christmas, so we take care of Christmas gifts for their kids, or pay bills for their kids. And we've helped frontline workers. Chris Woodard's wife, she's a nurse, right, Emily? And we were able to help them out. And I think she wants to come to our, I know they circled our event on their calendar already too, just because, sudden loss can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For us, obviously, the main thing is when we started Richard, because Richard died suddenly. So that was the main focus of it. But we've been able to kind of branch out a little bit and help wherever we can.
And I will tell you that made Anthony very, very nervous in the beginning, because if there wasn't an actual loss or a death, I think Anthony, because he's super paranoid, he'll tell you that. And he was like, well, that really, they didn't lose someone. And I was like, well, sudden loss can be, sudden loss of income, or, all these things. And I said, look, Anthony, the feds aren't going to come after us for doing good things for people. I promise we're going to be okay.
I'm very by the book. And it's funny because Emily and I, Emily is the president and I'm the secretary. So we're the ones that see the most stuff, and we are probably meaner to each other than anybody else on the board, but it doesn't, like, she can't hurt my feelings, and I can't hurt her feelings. No matter what she calls me or what she says about me, it's not going to change anything, because if I need something, I can go to Emily. If Emily needs something, she can go to me, and it doesn't. There's not a lot that we can do that's going to upset one another.
We can't survive without this foundation. Cannot survive without us like clowning on each other. So yeah, we're good. We need each other to survive.
Yeah.
Well, you're family, so it's easy to shit on each other.
Yeah, it is. And even the old president of the Texas Rangers, he we have nicknames for him in our text string. It's that don't go past the text string. So he knows we can bag on John Daniels probably a lot more than other people can, and he just has to take it.
Well, I promise you, you're not the only ones in the city who do
he's aware.
Yeah,
Very aware.
So, we had Anthony on the show last year, pre-pandemic. I think it was the last live show, right before all that happened. He shared some stories and memories about Richard. Do you have any that you have of Richard that you want to talk about?
Yeah, he just was so fun to be around, because he would get so riled up, and it would crack me up on a daily basis during the baseball season. But I think my lasting image of Richard was we would go to the post-game press conferences, and but those years were not there were some good years and bad years that Richard covered the team. And I just remember when the press conference would be over, we all walked together to the clubhouse to go do post-game interviews, and Richard would always just speed walk right behind me so he could catch up to me and then complain about something or give his thoughts on something or comments that were made or whatever. And he's just yapping my ear off the whole walk from the press conference to the clubhouse. And so, he was just a good person. He's one of those where you kind of question yourself, am I being nice enough? He's so nice. He's, which is a good thing. I mean, you want people like that in your life. And so he just was a good human, and I didn't know Kelly very well before. I had met her a couple of times before Richard died. But now I'm even more passionate about our foundation because of who he was and because of what he left behind with Owen and Alice and Margot and Kelly. And so I love that his name is able to, and his spirit lives on in this foundation, and that those kids get to experience that. That his kids know that the reason that this foundation is named after their daddy is because he was a good human, and that's pretty cool, And so it's something we all love doing, and it's something that I don't think we ever anticipated would be where it is. But we are truly, truly grateful. And one other note on that, every single penny we raise goes directly to families. There's no, none of us get paid. It's not, it is every penny goes to helping families. And that was what, Kelly wanted to do after we helped her family directly. She wanted to pay it forward because she knew that's what Richard would want as well.
Sounds like it. Absolutely.
And it's really we are Next Step Recruiting does a golf tournament that benefits our foundation, and we had that tournament a couple of months ago. And in my foursome was Owen and Alice, Richard's son and daughter. So I did not hit one golf ball. So Owen took over for me, and then Alice played two. And then the Cowboys preseason game tomorrow, the Cowboys reach out to me and say, you have to do it for Durrett families that want tickets. Let me know. So Kelly's bringing her family as part of the foundation tomorrow, and she reached out to other families about tickets. So we have really, really great support system. And the fact is Kelly is involved with it, and now we get to see Owen and Alice and Margot a lot more frequently. It makes our work more rewarding because we can see Richard still every day, and every time we talk to Kelly and Owen and Alice and Margot, it makes us want to work harder just because we can see the lasting impact Richard left.
Yeah.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that you guys are auctioning off not only shots, maybe other things, but you have actual memorabilia here as well.
Yeah, we brought some things. We have a live and silent auction. The silent auction, we're doing it a little bit differently this year because we're going to go online until the day before, and then the day of, the people that are at our event will have an opportunity to bid on it. But the one good thing about having the ballpark is because we have our auction with about 250 people inside, but we put the auction item outside. So the night of the game, anyone at the game could bid on it. So we want to kind of keep that there. Our live auction is only for the people who are going to be at the event, and that's our higher dollar, experiences kind of stuff. But yeah, so I bought some stuff.
Obviously can't bring all of it.
Well, no. It is all I bought today was baseball related stuff. Like Emily's got an Otani ball that she just got. Emily's got a Miguel Cabrera ball. But like, so this is a helmet signed by this year's Rangers. And the cool thing is, because of COVID and all that kind of stuff, people don't have an opportunity this year to get autographs and stuff like they used to. Yeah. So it's a little bit different. And then the hottest team in baseball right now is, unfortunately for a lot of people, is the New York Yankees, right?
they acquired some good-looking fella. He had a beard when he was here.
So
I believe he hit a ball.
These are balls signed by basically the entire New York Yankees roster.
Wow.
So there's
I believe as of recording time, they're on 16 games.
Yeah, there's Stanton and Judge and all that kind of stuff. And then you mentioned the former Ranger.
Yeah.
Now this is Joey Gallo.
Oh,
but now this isn't like the bat you get anywhere.
No.
See, this is game used.
Sure.
So this has still got the pine tar on it, which is always good for us when we try to put out auction items.
Sure.
Because it's a little bit sticky. And then I'll put that down. And then I brought. Now this is another bat. This is signed by, part of the Rangers from this year. But see, this is all blue ink stuff that you don't just get.
Yeah.
You can't get it anywhere else. I know Adrian Beltre was here for his day the other day, and I know Emily got stuff from Beltre, and we've got Michael Young. The Cowboys, I've already reached out to them. They're sending us stuff. TCU's got the game package, the National Championship semifinal game. We'll have tickets for that.
That's right.
Texas Motor Speedway. TCU, Mavericks. We've had Lucas stuff the last 2 times we've had events. The crazy thing is, one of our biggest auction buyers is a guy named Matt Malone. So the first year we had Lucas stuff. We had Luka signed shoes. Matt bought them for $1,500.
That's it.
We were happy with that because remember we don't pay. Right? Everything's 100% profit for us to go to our foundation. So Matt found those shoes, got them photo matched to a game that Luka wore them in.
No.
And they're both signed. He turned down $30,000 for. So that's the kind of stuff that ends up popping up at our event. Right. And again, this is all contributed by people who knew Richard or know our foundation. We don't pay for any of this stuff, so everything we get, everything we sell goes right back to the foundation.
Man, it's such a great circle there.
And Emily is tight with the former president. We've had George Bush stuff in the auction before. Emily and him are like this.
Just so close.
But he does watercolors now. He could probably paint something that you guys could auction off.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Just thoughts I have.
And then Emily's also tight with, Roger Staubach. And so that means a lot to me. So, there's a lot of cool things. But even we've had auction stuff from A&M where John Daniels actually bought the A&M item. It's like a framed portrait of the renovation at Kyle Field and bought it and gave it to me. Whoa. So we've had some really crazy stuff at our auctions. We'll have some crazy stuff this year. Well, Derek Holland will be there. We always auction off a date with Derek.
The Dutch Oven.
Yeah, so it's Top Golf or it's something like that where Derek's actually gone to a house for dinner before at one of these. So it's interesting. We've done dates with Emily and her friends before. So there's nothing we're not afraid to do to make a buck.
Right. Yeah. Because Derek, I believe, I don't know if he's still a big Stars fan, but for a long time he had season tickets.
Yeah, we've taken the Stars games before. We've had dates with Derek twice at Stars games. My wife went to one of the games. We chaperone the dates. Because,
I would hope so, especially with your wife.
Yeah. Well, it's no more with Derek. Derek's issue, not my wife. So it's always a little bit feels off. So which is great for us.
Right.
Emily, anything else on the auction can you think of?
No, like stuff from Randy Rogers, Casey Donahue, Texas Country Music, Stars, So yeah, they're fantastic to work with. I'm gonna try to get something from Pat Green.
I was gonna say Pat Green on the show. I don't know.
Yep, and he's a friend and fellow Red Raider, so hopefully I can get him to jump in on something.
Randy Rogers is a personal favorite of ours because my wife has a natural. She loves Randy Rogers. So.
She has a crush on him. Let's just.
Yeah, the crush. Yeah.
It's okay. He's a very attractive.
Yeah, he just sent us a guitar and some other stuff. I haven't opened it, but I do know that one thing is a guitar.
Okay. Well, that would be a good idea. I'm sure you can probably figure out if it's a guitar. Casey Donahue always sends us a guitar too. It's pretty obvious what it is by what they send us.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, if people want to find you guys on social media and online to either just donate or even get tickets to the event, and then try to bid on some of this fantastic auction stuff, how can they do so?
Well, I mean, the easiest way is on Twitter, which is Do It For Durrett. We're on Facebook at Do It For Durrett. Our website is doitfordurrett.com. You can find tickets on Eventbrite. If you search Do It For Durrett, it's there. You can donate on our website as well. We have a donate button at doitfordurrett.com. We have an idea about how many tickets we're gonna sell, but we may pull it back a little bit because we have so many sponsors that support us, from Cane Rosso, which is to our t-shirt company. So we got to make sure we take care of those people as well. The best thing is, as soon as we put tickets on sale, we have regulars who our first day snatch up the tickets, and it is great seeing the same people, because we have had supporters from day one who have not missed one of our events. So yeah, you can still support us at doitfordurrett.com, but we're easy to find out there. There's not a way you can't help us. We'll take anything.
There we go. Well, thank y'all so much. I love what you guys do with this foundation, not only for the families, but again, if you're a sports fan and you're not trying to help out this foundation, are you a sports fan?
Well, thank you guys so much for having us. We appreciate it, and we hope to see everyone at Legal Draft on October 23rd, 6th.
Yes, October 23rd.
Yeah. 23rd. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's still baseball season. My brain is mush.
Yeah. You and the players are fried right now. I get it.
Yes.
On the tail end.
Thanks you guys so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we are here with Nikki Hunter, a city council member for District 3 in Arlington. How are you doing today?
I am great. Thank you guys for having me back on.
Always. It's always nice to hear from you and talk to you. First off, congratulations on winning the runoff election. How did it feel to win?
Thank you. It feels really good. It's definitely, I am so happy to be able to represent my district and do some good over here and be the voice of the people.
Oh, I imagine it feels great. Especially, I'm sure you were kind of maybe a little on edge once you realized there was a runoff election. Like, uh-oh, thought I had this in the bag.
Absolutely. Yeah, runoffs are hard. I mean, it's definitely very hard.
Yeah, it feels like you have to have another election after the election you just had.
That's exactly what it is. Very expensive and very hard, yes.
So it's been a couple months since you've won. What's it been like being on the council?
It's been amazing. It's been, very busy. I have tried to be as transparent as possible. So in my district that wants it, I like to be able to, if you need me, I want you to be able to get in touch with me. So, when I meet someone, I'm like, hey, here's my cell phone. It kind of throws people off a little bit. It's like, okay, is this really your cell phone number? Right. So yeah, it's just been amazing to continue to meet people and to continue to be able to address people's needs.
That's a really great. I think it's really awesome that you're like, yeah, call me. Let's figure out what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Really, really inspiring, to be honest with you. I think that's really great and very cool of you to do.
Thank you.
So with your race, what was the best thing for you that came out of the whole race? Did you learn anything about the city, or was there a specific moment where you were like, wow, I'm really glad that I did this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I learned a lot about District 3 just in general. I mean, it's one thing to live in a district, but it's another thing to actually get out and talk to the residents of a district. So you're able to use that information to move forward. I know the people of District 3, they want their voices heard. So that's what I want to do. I want to be the voice of District 3. So I think I am so happy that I did run. I'm so happy that I was able to talk to as many people and continue to talk to as many people as I do, and to actually sit down and listen to their concerns.
And bring that to the city center and work on those problems.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what can people expect for you now in the future?
Definitely, for the next 2 years, it's going to definitely be working on improvements in our district. We're working on our neighborhoods over here. We're wanting, as I said when I ran, we're wanting to make these neighborhoods a priority. I meant everything I said. So we're working on that, working on unity over here. We have I guess it's not too early to talk about it because it's 3 weeks away, but I am working on a Hispanic Heritage Month event with our Southeast Library. So it's a little bit of things like that as I want to embrace our unity. We are the most diverse district in Arlington. So I want to embrace that as city council. So we're working on things like that and just continuing to work on sidewalks and just anything that needs to be done over here.
I love that.
I agree. So switching gears just a little bit, the other day was National Dog Day. Can you tell us more about your dog, Spence?
Yes. Oh my God, my little guy. Spence is my Shih Tzu. He's no longer the youngest because right after the election, I lost one of my dogs the day after I was elected.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you. Bosco passed away. We've had him for 17 years. I was totally crushed.
Yeah.
Spent the day crying. What we decided to do is we decided the city of Arlington had, I think it was 20 dogs that it was a hoarding situation that basically they needed some dogs fostered. So we ended up fostering 2 of them. So with that said, Spence is no longer the youngest Shih Tzu, but he's the most active, I will say. He's amazing. He's 6 years old. He's a Shih Tzu. He looks like a little Oreo cookie. But we named him Spence after my grandpa. And he's a ball of just joy, honestly.
Yeah. No, my little Avery, she's about almost 10 years old now. And yeah, she's still full of energy. I'm like, how? Where's this energy coming from?
Yeah, we're huge. I love dogs. I've had a dog probably for as long as I can remember. I've always had some type of dog. So I'm a huge animal lover. That's just a passion of mine too. It's just loving animals.
So we were told to ask you about an international corridor by one Linda Dippert.
We just interviewed Linda, and she said, be sure to ask her about the international corridor.
Yeah, well, that's in my district. It's definitely very close to my heart. It's got a lot of culture, a lot of history, and we want to, that's one of the things we want to embrace in District 3 is that culture and that diversity. And it's something that's up and coming, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't really say more to it than that, then it's something that, is close to my heart. It's the heart of District 3.
Well, if people want to get in touch with you, they want to find you online, how can they reach you? How can they, get ideas to you?
Well, let me start off by giving you my cell phone number.
There you go.
Open. It's 817-456-4200. That comes right to my phone, my cell phone. They can always email me at nikki.hunter@arlingtontx.gov. If you want to find me on Facebook, Nikki for Arlington. Or if you just want to add me to my first personal Facebook page, hey, I'm transparent. You're more than welcome to do that as well. So any avenue that you need to reach me, I encourage people to do that, because if I don't know what your concern is, I can't help.
Very true.
So true. Well, Nikki, thank you so much for your time again. I know as of right now, you're at a comic fest, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So you're a woman of the people in all forms, whether they're cosplaying or not.
Well, and John, I got to give you credit too. I'm loving your recipes that you're posting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, man, those are really fun.
They've been doing. They're a little more plant-based recently. My girlfriend is more plant-based eating, so I've been eating meat, which has been interesting. But I just love trying new things cooking-wise, and I always put the recipes out there because just because I made it one way doesn't mean that you have to make it the same way. Like, I don't like onions very much, but I'll usually take those out a little bit. But if you want to add onions, go right ahead.
Well, those are very helpful for people like myself that are looking for new recipes. So I wanted to say thank you and keep up the good work on there.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure to talk with you guys.
I hope to do it again soon.
You too. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much to Anthony and Emily from Do It For Durrett. Exciting Do It For Durrett Rocks at Legal Draft. We saw all kinds of memorabilia that they're going to have there. I got some former Ranger players coming out. I mean, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be a fun time. Definitely. And also thank you to Nikki Hunter. Always a pleasure to have her on the show. Actually, I'm pretty sure she's like a 4-time guest now.
She might be. I think she's yeah, you know what? She's a 4 now, yeah.
I think she's a 4-time guest now.
Yeah, both times. Well, the only problem is we've never had her in person. So
we haven't, but I still count it. I'm still going to count it. She was on the show.
That's in person. I know she's real, but
yeah. I didn't think that. I wasn't saying she's a bot that was built by Google or anything. Because she's not.
She's not. Completely not. She's 100% real. I've met her. So.
Just have not had her on the show in person. Yeah. But we will remedy that at some point because obviously she's going to have to get the jacket soon.
Obviously. That's the only way we can really get her on.
It's true. You can sign the jacket virtually.
What a great way to get her. What a loophole. She found it.
You
never have to physically be in person with the people. But, oof. Okay. Jeff Moore has also figured that one out.
That's true.
But I've never actually interviewed him in person. So, wow.
Very true.
Okay. We gotta remedy this at the same time.
Then they can both sign it, and then we have a cool jacket. All right. So if you're out and about in Arlington this week, just remember every Monday is trivia night at Dr. Jekyll's.
Exactly. Also, every second and fourth Tuesday at Create Arlington is their open mic and poetry night.
Every Wednesday at Jambo's Barbecue, you can catch UTA Jazz from 5:30 to 7:30 and also catch some brisket in your mouth.
While you're done with that, go over to Division Brewing from 7 to 9. They're doing trivia on Wednesday nights.
Grounds and Gold is hosting their open mic every other Thursday from 5 to 7 with the guy across the internet from me.
That's me. Obviously, we're not doing it this week. We will do it next week. And Cameron, we've had her on the show many times. She said she's going to come out. So If you're a fan of Cameron, come out and you get a free concert. But also, while you're there Thursday, or since they're not doing anything this Thursday, go on out to One Love Lounge. They're hosting their Artist Love Night, which is their open mic night, and that starts at 8 p.m.
And every first and third Friday, you can head over to Inclusion Coffee right in downtown for their open mic.
And while you're out there, make sure to go out and eat local, drink local, and
go rediscover your city.
Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of the Downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.